Alright, Title 49 CFR Part 235 Instructions Governing Application for the Approval of the Discontinuous Material Modification Signal System of Relief from Requirements of Part 236. 235.1 Scope, 235.3 Application, 235.5 Change Requiring Filling of Application, 235.6 Expedited Application for the Approval of certain changes, 235.7 Changes not requiring the application, 235.8 Relief of the Requirements Part of the 236 of this title, 235.9 Civil Penalty, 235.10 Contents of Application, 235.12 Additional Required Information Prints, 235.13 Filing Procedures, 235.14 Notice, 235.20 Protest, Appendix A to Part 235 Schedule of Civil Penalties, Authority Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 20103, 20107, Title 28 U.S. Standard Code 2461, note the Title 49 CFR Part 1.89. Alright, scope. The 235.1 scope. This part prescribes the application approval of the discontinuous materially modifications to block signal system interlock with the traffic control system, automatic train stop, the train control cab signal system, other similar appliances, development device methods or systems provide with the relief of the part 235.6 and 236 for the title. 235.3 application except for provided the paragraph of the description apply with the railroad operate with the standard gauge of the track of the wood part with the general railroad system of transportation. The part does not apply with the railroad transit operations conducted over the track and usually exclusive for that. The purpose is not part of the general system of the railroad transportation. 235.5 changing requirement of filing application except for provided in the statute. 235.7 applications shall be filed with the cover of the following: the discontinuous of block signal system and interlocking traffic over the control system, automatic train stop, train control cab, the signal system, the other similar appliance the device that decrease the limits of the block signal system interlocking the traffic control system, automatic train stop, train control cab signal system, the modification of block signal system and interlocking traffic control system, automatic train stop of the train control cab signal system. B reserved. 235B with the expedited application of the appropriate approval of certain changes. A, the qualifying change of the railroad may seek with approval of this section instead of the under statute 235.5 and 235.9 through 235.20 of the chapter of the following changes: modification of a single system consisting of the installation, relocation, and removal of one or more signals, the interlock of the switch, derail, movable point of the electrical locks, and selecting system directly associated with the implementation power of the train constant pursuant with the subpart A1 with the part subpart I with the part of the 236 chapter. The modification does not include the discontinuance decrease the limit of the signal over the train control. 2 reserve. B procedures of special expedited application to seek approval under the section. Railroad shall provide notice of the approval file plan with the proposed modification to the FR regional administrator have jurisdiction over the affected territory. 2 simultaneously with the filing with the FR regional administrator, the railroad shall serve with either hard with a copy of the electronic copy of the notice of the profile plan representative of the employees responsible for the maintenance, inspection, testing of the effective of the signal system under part of 236 for the chapter, as well with the representative of the employees responsible for the operating trains of the locomotive in the effective territory. The railroad shall include an admission with the FR regional administrator with the statement of following the railroad has complied with the requirements of paragraph B2 of the section, together with a list of the names and address for the person served with the response with the receipt notice with the profile plan under the paragraph B1 of the section. Regional administrator shall write and deny or approve in full or in part with or without conditions required for the signal system modification for any portion of the request of the denied. Regional administrator shall refer to the issue of railroad safety board with an applying application of modified signal system. A railroad may be resigned in the application of regional administrator to submit the application in the statute 235.5 with the 235.9, 235.20 through 235.9 through 235.20 of this chapter at any time prior to the decision of the regional administrator. The resulting arrangement to any of the change under the section shall comply with this part 236 of this chapter. 235.7 change of the not filing of application. Is not necessary to file the application for removal of the filing with the discontinue with the removal of the block signal system, interlocking traffic control system, automatic train stop of the train control cab signal system, the track of approved of the abandonment formal proceeding of the removal of the device associated with the signals provided with the protection against the usual contingencies such as landslide, burn bridges, high water, wide load, tunnel protection with unusual contingency no longer exists. 3. Removable interlocking where the drawbridge has permanently closed with the formal approval of any another government agency. 4. The removal of the server that does not exceed 6 months of the block signal system interlocking with the traffic control system necessitated by a catastrophic occurrence such as derailment, flood, fire, or the hurricane. 5. Removal of the intermittent automatic train stop system in conjunction with the implementation positive of the train control approved by the FRA under the Part I with the Part 236 for the chapter. When the resultant arrangement will comply with the Part 236 of the title, the not necessary to file with the approval of the decrease for the limit of the system of the file, the decrease for the limits of the interlocking with the interlock switch. Derails, movable point frogs are not involved through the removable electrical and mechanical locks or signals used in lieu thereof. The hand-operated switch is automatic block signal or traffic control territory where train speed over the switch does not exceed 20 miles per hour. 3. The removable electronic mechanical block signal will be used in lieu thereof the hand-operated switch and automatic block signal with the traffic control territory where the trains are not permitted to clear the main track as such switch. C. When the resultant arrangement will comply with the Part 236 of the title, is not necessary to file the application of approval of the following modifications. A modification that is required to comply with an order with the Federal Railroad Administration, any section in Part 236 for the title, to the installation of the automatic block signal with the traffic control system to replace the manual block with a non-signal territory. 3. The installation of the track control system to replace the roadway automatic block signal system to discontinue with the automatic train stop of the train control and cab signal system is not permitted without the FRA approval. 4. The installation of automatic train stop with the train control with the cab signal system of the existing automatic block with the traffic control. The installation of the continuous inductive automatic train stop to replace the existing intermittent inductive automatic train system. Installation of continuous inductive automatic train stop system to supplement the existing automatic cab signal system. Installation of automatic train control system to replace an existing automatic train stop system and to the supplement existing automatic cab signal system. 8. The installation of the interlocking to replace existing stop signs, the gates, and the pipe connecting the derail with protecting the railroad crossing at grade. 9. The installation of the relay type of locking to replace the existing electromechanical locking at the interlocking. The installation of the additional control point with the existing traffic control system. 11. The installation of the interlocking with the existing block signal system. 12. The conversion of the hand-operated switch locked with either the electrically or mechanically spring switch to a power-operated switch. The conversion of the spring switch to the hand-operated switch to the hand-operated switch located with the locked either with the electrical or mechanical. 14. The removal of the relocation signals associated with the spring switch converted with the hand-operated. 15. The installation, relocation, removal of the signals to specify with the provided with adequate stop designs. 16. The change of the aspect. 17. The relocation signal and improve the review of the signal aspect for visibility. 18. Replace the signal with a signal another type. Change of the approach of the signal with the appropriate inoperative signal with the move of the approach of the signal not required in Statute 236-310 with its title. 20. The change of location machine with which for the interlocking with the traffic control system is controlled the closing of the manual block station. Change of the hours during the manual block station is attended with the change of the hours during the manual interlocking with the attendant provided with the interlocking operated with all the routes without over which the train movements are permitted. The installation of the device to provide protection against the usual contingencies such as the landslide, burn, bridge, the high water, high, wide, load, dredging equipment. The installation, relocation, removal of the signal, laser lock, switch, derails, movable point frogs, and or electrical switches existence. Directly associated with the installation of new work, the eliminating existing track other than the second main track with the extension shortening of the passing siding with eliminating the second main track with the signal system must be retained. Main track of the arrangement to provide both the opposing following protection for the train movements that provided with the second main track of the physically removed line relocation. 5, 6 conversion of a pole line circuit to the electronic code track circuit and provided with the railroad give it the notice for the profile plane with the change for the FR regional office of the jurisdiction over the territory with at least 60 days in advance of the change. The railroad must also have at the same time provided with the copy of the notice and the profile with the plans representing the employee responsibility maintenance inspection testing of the signal system under Title 49 CFR Part 236 signal system modification will be deemed acceptable unless within 60 days of the regional administrator stays action with the written notice for the railroad refers to the issue railroad safety the board decision. The temporary permanent arrangement with the existing system necessity with a highway grade crossing with a separation construction temporary with arrangement shall be removed within 6 months of the following completion of the construction. Statute 235-8, relief of the requirements of the Part 236 for the chapter. Relief of the requirements of the rules of the standards instructed contained with the Part 236 for the title will be granted with the adequate shown by the individual carrier. The relief hereto therefore granted by the any carrier shall constitute the relief of the same extent with the relief granted under the requirements of this part. 235-9, civil penalty. Any person or any type of the coverage within Title 1, U.S. Standard Code 1, included but not limited to the following: railroad manager, supervisor, official with the other employee, agent with the railroad, any other manufacturer, leaser or lessor of the railroad, coming track of the facility, any independent contractor provided with the goods and services of the railroad, any employment of such owner, manufacturer, leaser or lessor, independent contractor who violates any requirement that the part of the cause of the violation, any such requirement, subject to civil penalty at least $650, but not more than $25,000 per year, except that the penalties may be assessed against individuals only for the willful violation violations, whereas grossly negligent violation pattern repeated violations have created an imminent hazard of death, injury to the person has caused death or injury per penalty not exceeding $105,000 per violation may be assessed. Each day a violation continues shall constitute a separate offense, and see Appendix A with this set part of the Statement Agency of Civil Penalty. 235.10 Contents of application. The application shall may be maintained but may be submitted by letter and shall contain the following information: the corporate name of each application, the manner in which the application for the location of the project, given the name of the operating division, nearest station for the track and the tracks involved. 5. The complete description of the proposed change of the would be if existing facility or the section from which the relief is sought, the reason for the proposed change of the justification relief of the requirements of the approximate date of the beginning of the completion of the project, change for the operation practice separate, temporary or permanent. Whether the safety operation will be a face, if and so how, and whether the proposed changes will conform with the Federal Railroad Administration rules, standards, and instructions. Part 236 for the title. Alright, 235.12 Additional required information. A print or print size of 8 inches with 9.5 in the 8 by or 8.5 inches by 11 inches, folded to 8 inches by 10.5 inches or 8.5 inches by 11 inches shall be furnished each application. The print of the print shall be used with the scale that indicate the dimensions used in the Associated American Railroad Graphic School. The following information shall be shown on the prints and print. Present proposed arrangement of the tracks, the signal facility, name of the carrier, the operating division, place, date with the timetable, the direction, movements, and stopping distance involved with the following information shall also be shown: the curvature, grade, maximum authorized speed, with the time, trains, length of the signal, control circle for each of the signal indicated with the display, following color scheme. Suggestion for the prints, installation, relocation, and the edit of the signal aspects should be colored with the preferably yellow. The removal of discontinuity abandonment shall be colored, preferably in red. Existing facilities are not permanent. The change of the proposed application should be found shown uncolored. 235.13 Filing procedure. Application request for the consideration application shall be submitted with the authorized officer of the carrier. The application corresponding with the reference thereto shall be addressed to the Associated Administrator of Safety, Federal Road Administration, Washington, D.C. 20590. The separate application shall be filed with the edge of the project at a joint facility where change of the proposed automatic block signal interlock with the traffic control system, automatic train stop, the train control, the cab signal system on the tracks. More than one carrier, or if more than one carrier will be affected by the proposed change of the relief sought with the joint application signed with all the carriers affected. This shall be filed. Where one of the carrier joint facilities affected with the discontinuity, the modification, and installation resought, but this shall be responsible for the filling application. Also shows, it should also certify the other joint carriers have not been filed, no filing of the application. Alright, 235.14 Note. If the FRA publishes a note of the following application request for the reconsideration application in the Federal Register, and a copy of the notice of available to the U.S. Department of Transportation, docket operations, M30 West Building, the ground floor, room 412, W12, 140, 1200 New Jersey Avenue, Southeast Washington, D.C. 20590, or Federal Docket Management System website at www.regulations.gov. 235.20 Protest. A protest against the granting of the application shall set for the specifically grounds upon which it is made contains a consistent, concise statement of the interests of the protestant of the proceeding. The protest shall be filed with the Associated Administrative Safety of the Federal Road Administration, Washington, D.C. 20590. One copy shall be furnished to each application. Protest shall be filed with the time limit as set forth in public notice. For the protestant shall certify with the service of the copy of the protest made upon the application. The request for the hearing may be accompanied with a showing by a protestant is unable to properly present his or her position in writing statement. Or Appendix A, Part 235, Schedule of Civil Penalties. Changing 235.5, changing requiring filing application violation $5,000, willful violation $7,500. Alright, once again, this was instruction governing application for the approval of the discontinuance, minor material modification, signal system relief of the requirements of Part 236.